See, now I'm loving this. This is like a fucking mystery, and I'm all about fucking solving mysteries.
Oh, remember we were told that Wonder Wuxian was going to make an appearance?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Dao Zu Shi. We come back as we normally do with a board, some notes, and some comments. So let's go ahead and hit that board first thing. Where the board changelog. Oh, I gotta zoom out a bit on the board because I forgot that I did a thing. Alright, I'll just zoom in on it for this part.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Yeah, I did a little family tree. What's my note here? Put together a little family tree, as I understand it, in as far as it connects Wei Ying to Mozan Yu. Obviously, in a greater family tree, I would have also included everybody else that has family. But this is the main thing that connects everyone together. Alright, no commentary from you, so I'm going to zoom back up to the rest. And the rest of the board changelog. I added Lan Huan to the present, since I evidently missed him before. I added Yao to the present, connected him with a green line to Jin Lin and Lan Zan, and a white line to Mozan Yu. I added Jin Zixuan. The problem here is, I'll mention it. I added Jin Zixuan to the past, connected him to Wei Ying with a red line, marked him dead, also connected him to Wen Ning with a red line, then marked Wen Ning as dead. The thing I was about to say is, the difficulty in pronouncing Jin Zixun as opposed to Jin Zixuan, which are two different people.
Yes.
It's either that, or there's a typo, and it's confusing to us because Jin Zixuan gets fat at some point.
Well, let's get to the part where we go to notes, shall we? Season 2, Episode 2, Enmity. Oh, the arm has really stirred up the clans into action.
Get it? Arm stirred? It's your joke. You defend it.
If it was a joke, it was completely unintentional.
Just glancing at the map we see at the start of the episode, I'm pretty sure that the circled areas representing restless evil spirit activity are the same sites that are circled on previous maps as being where the Wen clan's supervisory offices were, which, if true, could represent the resentment of the failed, sorry, that was not failed, that was fallen. The resentment of the fallen even after the war, gathering again, or, hell, maybe some of the luring seals are still active. Evidence of diabolic instruments, what the fuck are my... I have written down diabolicers are we're looking for. The fuck is a diabolicer? Yeah, diabolist. Here's the element is actually, if you do replace the R with a T, that would make sense, diabolist. It's the same thing as I wrote down Falled. The Falled. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, the fall in. Not R, N, because you know they're so close together on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look down, right? No, they're not.
Okay.
The diabolicers. Well, to be fair, the R and the T are close together, but not so much the R and the N.
That looks like a villain group in some kind of 1980s action comic book or show for kids. We're fighting the diabolicers. Like, okay.
Yeah, they're the unseen...
Or mistranslation of an early anime.
No,
they want to say diabolical, right? So
they're the unseen group of one of the gangs and the warriors.
Yeah,
the diabolicers, and they got like red and black makeup. They actually look like Darth Maul. They're the inspiration for Darth Maul. The diabolicers.
And you feel it?
Actually, no, because maybe they're another baseball themed gang. The diabolicers, or maybe they're ballers. I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can go with this.
Yeah,
with this typo that we spent 5 minutes talking about.
No, can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
And then he gets shot.
Yeah, it's the whole crux of the movie.
Yeah, because it's based on Anabaseus, the tale of the 10,000 escaping told you to go back to Greece, which I should read. I've downloaded a copy of it from Project Gutenberg. Here comes the intrepid boy wonder. I mean, Jin Zixuan.
I'm ringing a bell.
Jin Zixuan?
You mean Jin Ling?
Jin Ling.
If there was anyone in the episode I would describe as Boy Wonder, it would have been Jin Ling.
Yeah, that's the thing. Jinlin. You know him by Jinlin, but
Well, here's the thing, Lessons. It's not me mocking you when I do this. I legitimately just don't know them by their other names. But do I have him as a different name on the board? No, see, on the board I have Jinlin, and that's his given name is Rulon. So I don't know who you were talking about. What did you say?
Jin Xinzhuang.
Well, spell it for me. Because you
Okay.
can't see letters out loud, Lessons. You're going to type them. Okay. Oh, no, that's, what do you mean, Boy Wonder? What are you talking about? Which part of the episode are you talking about? Because that is the guy who marries Yan Li.
Oh, well, then I screwed up then.
Yeah, that is Jinlin's dad, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Unless, it turns out that Wei Ying is into something else. But that is Jinlin's dad. As per, the family relations board you literally just looked at.
Yeah. I screwed up.
No, you spelled it. You didn't say it out loud. Let's just say the confusion thing that I said mentioned before. Remove an A from that, and that's a different guy. It's the fat guy.
Yeah, no, that's a completely other guy. Yeah.
The confused. I literally had a note earlier about legitimately, is that a translation error? And then they showed us the ghost version. It's like, oh yeah, that's not that guy. I'm just gonna read this one as I wrote it because it's another typo. I think this is the first time we've been shown that resentment can physically control you, a living body.
A UA?
No, you. I just threw you in there for some reason. You can control you, a living body. Clearly, there was no reason to write you. I think this is the first time we've been shown that resentment can physically control a living body. Because I don't think that's happened before in anything we've seen.
Well, a spirit, I think, is what inhabited it, but their spirits are powered by
I think they imply that this
resentment.
area is just filled with resentment. It's never shown that that's a spirit that's controlling him.
I think that's why they have the bodies in there, though.
I would also add, Lessons, that even if true, that hasn't been shown to us before, so this would also be the first time for that. Because otherwise, you'd think that we'd be getting stories of, oh, that person committed a murder. And it's like, no, they didn't. They were inhabited by a spirit.
No, it's not actually the first time, because remember that the whip in particular can suss out people who are possessed. So possession is a thing that's already established.
Okay, now we're getting the pedantic argument. Fair enough. You're indicating that's the first instance of that being presented to us, but it's not being presented to us. That's being presented as information. I said shown. Literally, I think this is the first time we've been shown that resentment can physically control a living body. And you're saying maybe it's not resentment, maybe it's a spirit. If you change the word resentment to spirit, shown is still the active word there.
The verb, yes.
Yeah, because, I don't know. Good on you for remembering that they said the whip does that, but at the same time, the only reason we got told that, I feel like, was to indicate that Wei Ying is inhabiting the body now and not possessing it. Legitimately, apparently, spirits work on rules lawyers. Whether there's a difference between that Mozan Yu no longer lives here. If you were to whip me out of this body, you would have a dead body. In which case, you need a different form of mystical art. Diabolicism or whatever.
Okay, my next point. Did the sword come back to ask for help considering they were ignoring the clear signs of a battle nearby?
Well, the sword has a spirit in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe did they rename the sword?
No,
is the name of the sword now Sword Time? Because I don't know why he would have said Sword Time.
Time. Yeah, because
that seems like a modern.
Time.
That sounds like a modern thing, right? To say something like Sword Time. So it doesn't feel like him. What does feel like if he was saying the name of the sword, like, oh, what's that? That's Sword Time. Sword Time. And exasperate, if Wei Ying's old sword had showed up his hand, whatever. It would have been, what the fuck does that mean? But we know his sword is called whatever. I don't think we've ever been indicated to what
whatever happened to whatever.
Xishuan's sword was called, because this is Jin Lin carrying his father's sword.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes much sense for someone to call it Sword Time either, because again, that seems like a modern thing. Although I don't know. Maybe there's maybe in the ruins of oh fuck, now I can't even think. Famous volcano.
Krakatoa?
No. Famous
Vesuvius?
Greek volcano?
Vesuvius, yeah. That's actually Italian, but yeah.
I believe the people that lived there were Greek. Roman. They were Roman, weren't they?
Roman, yes.
I get my Greek and Roman mixed up all the time. Mars, Ares, whatever. Anyway.
So did they.
Point being, it'd be funny to see amongst all of the porn drawn on their walls that was preserved for forever, that there was like just an advertisement for something that's, something time. Like that was adding time to the end of a thing was just so.
It's hamburger time or something. Yeah. Pizza time.
I don't know. I just think it would be more of a thing in an age where you were better able to keep track of the exact time. When we're down to like caring about the minutes themselves instead of like what hour of the day it might be. I think famously, sundials are better at keeping track of hours than they are minutes.
Because the sun doesn't shine exactly in the same place every day. So, yeah.
Well, also the element that the Earth has some wobble to it. And, Yao was about to tell us something important, I feel like. That Mozan Yu used to be, and then he gets cut off. Something for us to uncover later, I guess. More indication to something about Mozan Yu's past because he does know diabolic. I'm about to call it magic. It's not magic. Does know
sorcery,
diabolic. Yeah. Sorry, you said sorcery, and then suddenly the word I knew was right is no longer in my head. They all do it. Cultivation. Yeah. That was the word. That he knows diabolic cultivation. I don't know. He might have been saying something. Mozan Yu was a cultist. I don't know. He could have been saying something important, but he doesn't finish it off.
He did say earlier that he had studied the same thing as wuxian.
So, yeah. No, he says that later, but this is early in the episode. Mozan Yu used to be ... gets cut off. Mozan Yu used to be what? Straight, I'm assuming. Well, given the themes of the show, right? Given the themes of the show and what we're trying to put out there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Next part. The strange figure in the village looks like he's wearing Land Clan robes, but not their headband. So the colors match, but not this. And we know how important the headband is to the Land Clan.
I have two different thoughts that might cross that one. I'm going to spare them because the element is I don't think they fit independently here. But one, to my theory about Lanzan vis-a-vis Wei Ying's coming back, might be his doing. And the other thought leans into what the bell is to the Jiang clan might also be what the headband is to the Lan clan. I imagine, here we go. Actually, this one right here. I imagine each clan has something like the Jiang bell, which protects against illusions and provides clarity. If it wouldn't make any sense to me for them not to. The Lan headband, for example, must also provide clarity and protection of some sort. The lesser clans we get little information on must be the ones that lack these benefits, which is why they are the ones that fall victim to the effects of the supernatural. We don't know anything about Yao's clan. Yao is the only one there that either falls to resentment or spirits, depending on what you believe is happening. And for all we know, Yao has nothing about him that denotes no bell, no headband. He's just a dude in some robes.
Yep. Talking about that. So now we know what the bell on the belt does and why it was so important to the Yang clan.
Yeah, but they don't freak out like the Lan clan does with their headbands when you pull it off.
I think so. Well, I think it's more because the Lan clan, because it is a headband, it is kind of violating their dress code in a way that a belt on a belt doesn't, right? Or just that they're more anal about it, either way.
Well, I mean, you would also feel somebody pulling off a headband, whereas literally it's part of the initiation to the Foot Clan to pull a bell off a belt. You're supposed to do quietly.
Yeah.
Wait, was that your note or was that my note?
That was my note.
Okay. We continued on with it, so I was like, wait a second, that sounds like my note still. Literally the opposite of how blood is usually depicted in scenes like this. Not fresh blood is usually shown to be dry to the touch, but our guy just smears wet blood across his fingers and says, not fresh, been here a while.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever dealt with grooming animals or anything. Grooming animals is where my mind went because I worked for a dog groomer for a bit. The idea is that if you have like fleas in your dog or something, you can like touch the area in their skin or the fur around the skin and it'll pull back a little bit of like brown. And that's usually the dried blood from the fleas. So that's what you should see if you like put your finger across. But then again, the ground could just be wet, in which case it would look like fresh blood all the time.
Well, it depends because of it. Coagulation of blood is influenced by water, but it also would clump. Actually, if you have a lot of, I think they just would clump a little bit, right? I say that absorbs the water and just, feels like these kind of bubbles.
I know, it's hard to parse in an animated medium.
They want to show blood, so they show blood. Picture reminds me, I know, again, Jinlin. I don't know what keeps saying.
I've been saying Ling too. It is Jinlin according to the board.
Yeah. Jinlin reminds me of how impulsive Wuxian was in the past. It just so happens that Wuxian wasn't as clumsy as Jinlin.
He's not clumsy.
He falls down all the time.
Lessons, this man does shit that neither of us could do.
True. I mean, clumsy for the standards of this level of characters.
I mean, he is the level of character that he is.
Yeah.
Which is to say, he would be with like the recruits and everything. So those guys were clumsy too, I guess, if you want to call that clumsy. Again, somebody who's like 100 times better than I am. Like, these are the guys who would be running along with Naruto on top of trees, just like disregarding the environment, just like, moving at like Mach 2 across tree branches. Yeah. I can't call someone like that clumsy, even if they trip and fall.
Yeah, it's like...
that reminds me of Superman, with the Superman 2 thing, where Superman is like, Clark Kent says, I'm not Superman, and then immediately next scene, falls into the fire pit. Superman can fly. He should not fall. The moment he realizes that he's lost contact with the ground, he should float for a second and then put himself down. The idea that you're so cognizant of your surroundings that you can do all this weird, acrobatic shit all over the place. Like, he should have, you should never fall down. You should, immediately move into a roll parkour, do some shit.
I mean, Superman, he's being deliberately clumsy, though.
Maybe it's all a trick. Maybe he's the reason why Wei Ying's back. I'm going to bring back my actual uncle. Like, anything's at play here. That's my end note about stuff. That's not an actual note. I'm just saying that anything's at play. That was your note, right?
Yeah.
What Yao describes as Wei Ying and them having a row with Yan Li having to step in makes me think that what I said before about controlling monsters must have happened. If you remember, I was talking about the turtle serpent creature back then. Yeah. That Wei Ying was controlling this giant snake in the past. Otherwise, I guess I lack the imagination to think of how it could have started a fight between those two and not be dead already.
I concur. And I should have said this at the very beginning. I think I may even mention it before, but I want to say it again. Lansang would be a high-level bard in D&D for sure.
No, he's a failure of a bard.
What do you mean?
Name 2 people this man wants to have sex with.
Okay, I'm talking about powers here. No.
Powers do not make a bard. The Force not make a Jedi great.
But it does make him a Jedi.
Yeah, well, no, does it? Because Force can also make a Sith. Or a Dothmori witch, or any of the other various Force-powered creatures. What makes a Jedi is the Jedi code. What makes a bard is being very amorous with everything, which is not what Lanzan is.
That's a common misconception.
It's not. I think you'll find that when you get down to a bard, even the ones that tell stories at campfires, they end up with a tent with somebody. Legitimately, people are aroused by storytelling ability, or singing, or dancing, apparently. There's a lot of different varieties of bard.
Not on my table.
Well, to be fair, Lessons, your table is just one edge of a giant multiverse, in which case you do not denote what bards are across the board, and I believe that we, as a common society, have made that the meme. And sometimes memes grow outside of their just joke status. Most people make... Sorry, jaw. Most people make the lawful stupid paladin, you make the amorous bard, the thief that will steal everything no matter what. You play into the stereotypes because the stereotypes are fun. Unlike real stereotypes, which are just horrible. It seemed to me to be implied that all the villagers went missing at the same time 11 years ago. The way the trap is described, I'd think it had made more sense if people had slowly gone missing over time, like a scary story about not going into the woods where people go missing. But for almost the entire village to have come out here at once and to have gotten trapped that way, something way larger feels afoot.
Like they were lured out here.
I did not do any investigation as to the poses the people were in the backgrounds. You could probably figure something out about that.
Well, they were covered in vines and roots, so it's.
But no, when they first phase in from the mist and whatnot, they are very clearly the outlines of shapes of people, doing these motions. The same way that, oh no, Medusa's been here, because all of a sudden you see a bunch of. Yeah, so it was that way. So closer in, when, Jinlin is like cutting up the vines and everything. It's like, oh, that is amorphous. I don't know what the hell that is. But the further back you get into the background, they become figures and doing things. So there's probably a read in there.
Next note. So now I think I got the right names. Jin Zun killed Wen Ning, and that is how Wen Ning became the Ghost General. Perhaps he was under orders to kill the surviving Wen, which would explain the change if they captured him first, and Wuxian brought him back as the Ghost General.
I disagree with everything except for the instigation. Not the instigation. I agree that Jin Zhuan, I'm calling him that still. I agree that he killed him. I disagree that made him the Ghost General. I believe the Ghost General is probably a name he had before. Although, I don't know. I can keep ground on this. Maybe they called him the Ghost General after Wei Ying.
They talk about remember that in the village, they talk about the diabolos talk about the weapons of the
yeah. It's the element though that
and they mention
Wei Ying controls all of his dead people. So why would he have a general? It doesn't make sense conceptually. So I would think that maybe he earned some title while he was alive, and then they applied that title. Like maybe Wei Ying, we know that there were people that served Wei Ying. Maybe Wen Ning was one of the first people to serve him, and then he taught him how to control the dead. So he was a ghost general in life, and then he gets killed later on, and he just kept that title because it's just a common moniker. Like I said, I'm disagreeing on that point. I agree with the element that Jin Zhuan killed him. I also disagree on the element that he got orders to, but I have a future note about this. So, Lanzan is implying something out there is strong enough to break out of the trap, which is then pushing for the arm to be explained that way. But when Ning is wandering around in the nearby area, clearly not having fallen into this trap either, which I would think suggests what equivalent strength is required to bust free from this place. Wen Ning was strong enough to fight the arm, but Wei Ying was concerned about him fighting Lanzan or Jiansheng.
Yeah, and now come the reinforcements, but that's enough.
No, I'm judging strengths of things.
Yeah.
What's required to break free of this trap? We know the arm does it. We know that Wen Ning is equivalent to the arm, apparently, but that then Wei Ying thinks Lanzan or Jiansheng are more powerful than Wen Ning.
And my second to last note. Lanzan went to check the body to see if Wuxian was really dead, but if he wasn't, then who is inhabiting Mo's body?
I mean, I've already covered that with previous thoughts already, but I also have more notes about that here as well. I think I have like 4 more notes to go through, though.
Oh, well, yeah.
So obviously I'll address that one when I get to it, because I think, again, I tie a lot of my notes together. This pit is also reminding me of the miasma pit from Inuyasha, where Narako gathered evil spirits together to fight until only the strongest one remained, or merged together, one of those. Same thing happens with one of the guy's powers in Mob Psycho, that this place is the resentment version of that in this world, maybe. That it's not about trapping the resentment anymore, it's about making the resentment more powerful. We don't know what happens first. Did this place get made first, or did the destruction of the burial mounds happen first? Because if the destruction of the burial mounds happened first, this could be Wei Ying trying to find a new power source.
Yeah. Making him not a great guy, have fallen to darkness.
Well, everyone turns against him. You can't blame a guy for trying to survive. The element here in that is described as having happened, well, this happened 11 years ago. We know he dies 13 years ago. 11 years ago would be... Oh, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm getting that backwards. He dies 11... Well, no, wait. I'm not going to do that now. I'm horrible doing the math on the fly, and I keep getting that fucked up every time I do it. The point being is, maybe what I said. I'm not going to readdress this. You figure it out in the comment section. I'm sorry, I'm getting a heat headache. So...
Okay. Well, that was my comment, I think. And then you said
that was my comment.
Okay. Well, my final
Unless you randomly brought up Inuyasha out of the blue.
No. Oh, great. Fanatical spies willing to disintegrate themselves instead of getting captured. Oh, and those flares rarely mean good news for anyone.
Well, the flare just means help.
Yeah, I know. But depending on who fires the flare and who
there was Jin Lin. He was asking for help. Yeah, obviously, Wei Ying would not want him to fire a flare because he wants Wen Ning to get away. I have a whole note about this too. But he would rather the flare not be fired. He's signaling for help. which means that people are going to come in and Wen Ning is probably going to die.
Or maybe driving off.
No, they're going to try and kill him. I don't know why they would try and keep him alive, especially when it's a Jin Clan member doing this.
Not keeping alive. He might escape.
No, lessons. I disagreed with you. I didn't mishear you. I actively disagreed with you, so you don't have to re-explain what you meant when I'm disagreeing with you and explaining why I'm disagreeing with you.
Okay.
Well, no, it just didn't make any sense why you would reassert that with no explanation. Anyway, I'm saying destroyed because they're not going to let him get away. Because this is the Jin Clan who then blames, like, they want Wen Ning dead. They have motivation as per the ghostly flashback that we just saw. So there's not going to be a drive it away situation. Also, they might pin the Watchtower deaths on him instead of the arm.
Yeah.
There's no arm evident here. There's the head, but the head can't leave the place. It's not strong enough, as we just covered. So those guys are dead outside of the field. Wen Ning wandering the area and attacking us. So, a great look. So a Jin Clan member must have killed Wen Ning after the war was over. I guess the hatred of the Wen spilling over to those that were allowed to live. And Wei Ying took revenge for that murder with murder. I suppose the thing is that Jin Lin knew who Jin Zhishuan was, enough to call him uncle, which would mean that it must have happened in the last, 13 years? 16 years ago, Jin Lin wasn't alive, but is the last date that we saw in the past. 3 years after that is when Wei Wuxian dies. Even if Jin Lin was born in the last year we were present for, he'd be 3 at that point, and those would be his earliest memories. And of course, Jin Zhishuan would have to have been killed while Wei Wuxian was alive. So it has to be between those two dates. Maybe he was just calling him uncle because he was in the same clan and older than him. Otherwise, the timeline isn't really adding up.
Could be.
Well, because we know how old Jinlin could possibly be at his oldest, which is to say, even if we assume that he was that Yinling was 9 months pregnant the last time we saw her and just not showing it, he's 16 at the oldest, which means that this guy would have died when he was 3 at the oldest. And what I keep telling you across multiple shows, you form your earliest memories from 2.5 to 3 years old. So calling this guy uncle when you would have baby memories of him, it's just a weird callback. And as I said, my disagreement with your stance about the Jin Clan calling for his death, I think, or order, you said ordered. In my instance here, it's just hatred of the Wen Clan. No survivors. Lan Zan sent people to search for a dead body to confirm that Wei Ying was dead, which makes sense, as it wouldn't be the first time Wei Ying went missing, presumed dead, and came back. Yao indicates that Wei Ying's followers dug up many graves, though, and Lan Zan was just talking about having had Jin Zhishuan's grave dug up to check for something. One could make the tangential argument that maybe Lan Zan became a Wei Ying follower. Though I know the weight of the discussion is mostly on discovering if Wei Ying had really died or not, just kind of lumps itself into the category of theories is Lan Zan orchestrating all of this himself, which is probably untrue, but there is a world.
I mean, he does have a lot of whip marks on him, beyond the ones that got delivered. And the brand, so...
Again, I'm keeping that theory alive. It's just the element that they said both things. That Lan Zan I had the body dug up to check for something. And Yao was like, the Diabolists that follow Wei Ying dug up a lot of bodies. I was like, both of those things right next to each other. And my final personal thought, because of course I have that extra stuff. It's going to be tragic, I feel, to have to see how Wen Ning suffers and is killed. Because I assume we're going to get a flashback of that. And then how his dead, semi-conscious body is going to have to be put down here in the present. But in the present, Jin Ling is a living relative, and Wen Ning is never going to be alive again. I don't think there's any real choice in the matter, especially if you want to make any sort of amends for what you may have done in your past life.
Yeah.
You can't defend your dead, again, your weekend at Bernie's friend over your literally living nephew, especially if you want to even appear like you're sorry for what must have happened.
True. Although technically you could bring back the Ghost General. I mean, if they brought back Wuxian, you can bring back anybody.
They didn't. He didn't really die.
We don't know if he really died or not.
He
That's
didn't.
kind of the
That's the
question.
point. You're making it in your head. You are assuming that he died and came back. We did not see that. We saw him struggling, and then we panned away to a different scene, and then he came back. In my estimation, he suffered, he overcame, and then he rose back from the pit.
No, I don't mean then. I mean when he was killed by his brother 11 years ago.
That is a ritual. What that one costs a person their life, moves on you, and two, entire groups of people were unable to replicate. We have no assumption to believe that Wei Wuxian himself knows how to do it.
No.
He was confused by it in the first episode. Oh, they brought me
But
back.
It is possible. Difficult,
I'm not
probably,
arguing that
yes.
it's not possible. Obviously, evidence shows, we wouldn't have a show. Well, I guess we would. It would just all be in the past. But the fact that he didn't do it for Wen Ning, although it seems like he cares about Wen Ning, would imply that he doesn't know how to do it, or that it's impossible to do for Wen Ning. That maybe Wen Ning is only animated by the faintest memory of himself and not of himself. Whereas whatever happened to Wei Ying, his consciousness remained. Or, whatever the explanation that I've already put out there for the element that he might come from a past point in time, because he seems to lack the memories of what happened to him in his final days. But that also could just be a narrative device. And the final thing, which again isn't my notes, but is the thing we talk about at the end of all of my notes, divergence from the novel. The content of episode 17 is unique to the animation, although references are made to canonical events and people from the novel. Of those, a measuring snake is seen during the night hunt on Mount Baifeng, but it does not attack anyone as it is already dead. Sorry, they say deceased. Additionally, Jin Zixuan's appearance differs significantly from his description in the novel, where he is a tall, dark-skinned, and handsome.
It's to better vilify him, I guess?
Right, that's something I recently did the seasonal anime review, and there is a show. You remember the one that when we did it together, there was there's one made from a donghua that I can't remember the name of. The king who wins the war, but lost all of his friends, goes back in time to do it all over again, knowing what he knows now. There's one like that, but there's one here where the guy goes back to relive his high school days. One of those classic stories. Except it seems like nobody was his friend because he was a fat kid. They're vilifying being fat. Because legitimately, in the trailer, what does he do to change it? What does he do to make himself popular? Well, the first thing he does is a minute of running, which turns him into a skinny guy.
Yeah.
And then after that, everyone's a fan. It's like, oh, fuck this. I don't even mean that as a fat guy now. Even back then, I had fat friends. Fat people can be your friend. It's like, I don't know what the fuck the story's trying to say. So the idea that they made him fat here to vilify him more? Fucking hate that. All right, as I said, we have a comment. Sign nominee from Joining Hands. Again, from the YouTube side. Very confusing. It's probably a good idea to watch this adaptation before the live action, because in the live action introduces some really major characters way earlier in the story. I do like how the drama handles these characters, but it would spoil a lot that happens in this adaptation. Also, the character that I mentioned in the comment, Meng Yao, is the same character that Jin Guanyao. Sorry, same character as Jin Guanyao. I tend to call him Meng Yao because it's easier to spell and say, which is the way I handle everything. But also, we already uncovered that this Joining Hands is a previous episode before we had announced that in our own recording. I believe I still haven't edited that episode yet, so. Horrible word. Edited. 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 No, I'm saying it right. I'm not saying it multiple times because I'm saying it wrong. I'm just in the flow with the word. Edited. Because it ends on a T sound that ends with almost a D noise.
Isn't that two words, in fact?
No, it's one word.
Edit it?
No, you're see, that's how it flows.
Edit it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Edited.
Yeah.
Edited.
Yeah,
EDITED. Edited. It's such a it's a fun word to say. I'll say that, but it's not one that's doesn't flow in a way that makes it understandable. Sounds like you've got a stutter. You can't say edited without sounding like a stutter, or that you're trying to say a different word and you can't get the fast part out. Edited. Are you cold? Edited. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta get edited. Again, cold joke, not a different joke you might be imagining that I'm making. God, I wish I was cold.
That was the problem, yeah. And so, yeah, we talked about that before extensively. That was a whole discussion, that I introduced. Like, yeah, I would like to watch it after I watch this, because even if they don't do that, it's still, at some point, if I'm watching on my own, if I like it, I probably watch like 5 or 10 episodes back to back, and it's like, I outran the anime, If I don't like it, I'll go like, one episode.
Yeah, I mean that's why they brought it up, because at that part that's where we talked about it. As I said, even then, I was making Magic the Gathering cards based off of it, and I was like, this actually looks good. So, no, it was me scrolling down to whatever the last card I made was.
They made it white as well instead of making it dark like in the anime.
What?
The instrument. Wangji's instrument is
I don't think
black.
It's dark. I don't think it's black.
It is black. It is.
You know what? Let's not argue. We're probably going to see it again.
Yeah.
Let's hold that argument off to the end of the episode, where if I'm wrong, wrong, you can make fun of me. But if you're wrong, I'm going to make fun of you. So
yes.
Let's see who's the bigger man now. Lessons, you want to be the bigger man, or you want to get an insult in? You'll hold to the end of the episode to find out.
Yeah.
All right, well, with all that said, let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get from, I guess, the inevitable fight against Wen Ning.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
And last episode, we already watched the Japanese, not Japanese, this is the Japanese version.
Chinese.
Yeah, we already watched the Chinese version.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see if I could get like a version of that logo there for the Magic the Gathering cards that I was making.
Mm.
I couldn't, because I didn't want the whole word, because it has to be like a circle, something, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted the circle image behind the word, but I couldn't get that. So I ended up using the image of the clans themselves as the card set marker. So, the Lan Wangji, as the card says, has the Lan clan symbol. Wen Rohan has the Wen clan. Wei Ying has... What did I use? I probably used the Jiang clan for Wei Ying.
You did say that this was the shorter of the 3 seasons, right? This
is 8 episodes, I believe.
Yeah, no, 15, 8, and then the rest would be the...
I can tell you that I don't remember giving you numbers. I just remember very specifically looking up... when I post these, I always have to re-look up what the name of the episode was.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that I saw in a listing that this was like an 8 episode season. I have no idea what that means to anything. I'm just pretty sure I figured that out. Because also I stupidly started naming everything like season 2, episode 1. I was like, God.
Yeah.
But I listed everything else as like episode 17, episode 18, so...
I mean, everything here is a mystery, so, yeah. It's strange it's purple and not yellow.
Why would it be yellow?
Because it was Jean Ling who...
Yeah, but we already covered in the archery competition that they're colored based on what their need is. Well, your boy's here. You're back in the game, Lessons. Unfortunately, he's not being possessed. The guy who helped us in the past, how dare he be alive? I also didn't write this down, but damn, Wen Ning got buff.
Yeah.
Like, legit, last time we saw him, he was like a twig, and now this dude is like working out with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This was in the intro, yeah.
Like I said, I'm not doing a breakdown of the intro of this show, because that's just filled with spoilers, unlike... I'm dead, man. I don't feel this. I guess conceivably Wen Ning has the advantage when it comes to whip.
Yeah.
Jian Cheng has got the one whip. Wen Ning's
He had 2 chains, yeah.
well, he has 4 chains because you have to learn the legs too. This guy could do acrobatics up the wazoo. Look at that, it's white. It's on his back, it's white.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No,
I
that's
said
a
we'd wait till
cloth
the
that he
end.
covered.
Let's wait till the end.
Mhm.
Remind me again, how many is enemy action? 1 time is coincidence, twice is something else, 3 times is enemy action.
Yeah.
That's not the way you should phrase that.
Yeah.
You know I didn't steal this body. I mean, I am close on you. Why wouldn't you whip him? Apparently you already have, according to his back. Yeah, I know that. I was there last time. When they left together.
Yeah.
Again, remember that we're using lunatic as a derogatory term to gay people,
Yeah.
so this is like fucking insane.
Oh, when he got our way, go away.
Not on purpose. It didn't drive him away, which was your point at the time. I just thought, like, the idea is, who was he signaling to? Because I don't think there was any other Jin Clan members in the area. Then again, what's Jian Chang doing in the area? I want to bring up something, Lessons. I know it's important not to talk over, but
Yeah.
there's one other guy in the area that our spy dude was talking to, and
Yeah.
then suddenly Jian Chang is here? What color was the outfit of spy dude?
White, though? That's why I say it
I
looked
don't
like
know
a
if it was white,
lantern.
it was dark. Literally, Lessons, I were remembering colors differently. That dude was wearing...
But he did have a top knot, though.
I don't remember that at all, but I wasn't paying attention. No, the dude,
so
the spy with the mask on, was wearing dark colors. He wasn't wearing white.
Yeah, no, but the guy he was talking to was wearing
No,
light
he wasn't
colors.
white. He was behind a white curtain.
No, he had light colors, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Because my idea was that he was Lanzan, so we'd have to... I don't know. We've seen, literally, when Ruhan was killed. You saw that on the back of the hand. The back of the hand had that on it, too. Cool, a new thing. Rats. Just like those little things that you messed up during the war. Yeah, but when Ruhan got killed, he was wearing somebody else's thing and he took it off and he was wearing his other thing. So either Wei Ying is being, not blackmailed, fuck, somebody makes it look like you did a thing.
Set up.
That's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, same thing. Set up. Framed. Sorry, framed is the word I was looking for.
Framed. He's a patsy.
I don't know if you can... That's like blaming Hitler for a thing he didn't do. You don't use the big bad as the patsy for a crime that no one's going to care about in lieu of his other crimes. Again, he is talking at him like, oh, Lanzan, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Is his
that-
brother?
Oh.
Is his brother up to a bunch of this?
I don't know. This is not the Cloud Recesses. This is not Gosu. That's purple and white, not white and...
Well, then we can't guess if it's new characters. However, what if it's not a new clan, but just people wearing different colors? But that's the drums of war from Doctor Who. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. He broke the sky. I believe that's how the Lich King dies in World of Warcraft. Sylvanas does that. Oh god, it's that guy!
I don't know who that guy is. Yeah. That's the
It's
flash
old
reveal.
babyface.
Who is this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
Well, the problem is it's probably one of the kids of one of the characters we do know. And we maybe need to figure that out. I think it's more likely is that they're not the bad guys. That they're trying to figure this out. I'm just waiting for like a... I'm just waiting for a subversion that the people that we're following aren't the good guys. Because again, we've been gone for a long time. It's the woman. It's the woman who was the last one left, yeah. So I guess is mentally regressed.
Does she have the body?
Her son and husband, I'm going to assume. Yeah. Her son and husband died. That's usually the way this goes.
Oh.
It's a fucking burial mound. What are you... Fucking... rude.
Okay, what's this?
Frostborn, of course.
此人修为高深，12年前出生，凭一把双华剑名扬天下。
So this would be the Zhao clan?
便会留下双华剑痕。小星辰心怀救世之念，品行高洁。也许11年前，正是他终止了这一切。
I don't know. It seems to imply he was here 11 years ago, and nobody knows about this, and he didn't tell anybody?
山不知何山。
See, now I'm loving this. This is like a fucking mystery, and I'm all about fucking solving mysteries.
Oh, remember we were told that Wanderer Boshan was going to make an appearance?
I wonder where they are. They're a wanderer, right? They shouldn't.
Not this again.
You know, the arm. They just left the arm under the seal.
Yeah.
Do not go in there.
No.
This have been that bean I had. The evil whisperings like we're in Evil Dead.
Well, there goes the arm.
And that's the Lan clan symbol. In a child's hand, because obviously it's the fucking dad and the son, or daughter, probably son.
造出困尸阵的，和鬼道中人可没什么干系。那又会是谁？一位几百年前的玄门名士。此阵也非邪阵，原本是用在凶煞过多时。
Never mind, it's not a mystery, unless he's lying.
剑只是剑，救人还是杀人，端看使剑者心存何念。
Sure. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Guns just make it real easy. And also,
Yeah.
children with swords, I guess, are dangerous. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
存的是什么念？哎，这是
Can we not like fold their arms over their chest or something? Like,
你手
why are
法
we always exposing these
是同一
arms?
人所为，不过少了几笔，更像是初始的试验版本。
难道说那人将我们引来，是希
Are
望
we
我
going
们
to
和
find
鬼
out
去
that
婚
the
宴？
burial mounds are actually the ultimate version, and these were just the tests for the burial mounds?
但那人
Yeah.
既然都等
Remember, it was
了
also an ancient
但是我
war
自己
that
解了
created the burial
Yeah.
mound, supposedly.
这世上能破解驱魂印的，可没几个人。
Oh
第一
shit.
次见有人这么
Remember, we also learned that some people can figure out immortality. Is Wanderer Boshan going to be the ancient person?
Could be.
Well, at least we know the arm wasn't heading here, because you ran here, and you got here, the arm
Yeah.
didn't. I was worried we were going to find a child, or something like that. Like the arm's going to come here, take the child's body.
宗主，可有探查到鬼手的行踪？
回宗主，有3处瞭望台监测到不明异动。
At once?
That moves fast.
Anytime, eyes. You could pan back, you know, this would be easier.
此路线来看，这鬼手极有可能窜行。
What route? Literally, we're just like all over the map.
Rinshi.
传令，搜捕鬼手，
Jinxi.
避免更大的伤亡。
Jinxi.
是。
可是要往哪
并且
搜呢？啊？哎，风蝎盘，这东西能指凶煞妖邪是没错。
I fucking hate it when we just like introduce the perfect thing all the time. Don't worry, guys. I saw this in a Pirates of the Caribbean
一
movie.
种连结术，鬼手
It'll lead us exactly to the thing we need.
却指向了他所在的方向，便是使用了此术。唐光君，借风恶乾坤袋一用。连结术煞气越重，施为越难。这施法的人，鬼道修为绝对了得。
你想用连结术反向追踪鬼手？
正是。不过连结术维持时间一般不久，希望还有效吧。
Chinhead.
We've been here before. This is where the
回宗主，
Wanderer is, right?
弟子
嗯
无能。不过有门生探得鬼将军进入了清河境内。确定。这个秦陵呢？啊，仙子跑了，金小公子追去了。行了，进清河。
Don't worry, guys. I can wander this mountain blindfolded. Because he did. That was the joke.
Yeah.
啊，这连结术失效的真是时候。
Be a great time for them to do that crossover advertisement where they showed us the ice cream again.
鬼手因煞盛，所到之处。
That arm was pure evil. For other non-evil things, visit
看来要找其他。
can't think of an ice cream brand. Blue Bonnet.
啊，忙了半天，热死了。
Rocky Road.
It's so hot today. Ice
那
cream?
是可爱多冰品。
Oh, cold and I
Cornetto ice
fucking
cream.
called
Cornetto
it.
ice cream, yeah.
The moment he said it's hot today, I'm like, no way. Really? And it was Cornetto last time, I'm pretty sure. It's just all those fucking stalls and everything. They looked way too set up for the story we were in.
来点吗？
一灵老祖，5文1张，10文3张，买不了吃亏。
Bobbleheads, please let them be bobbleheads. Pictures, new pictures.
煞气重，邪气浓，以恶制恶，以毒攻毒啊！要不要来几张？
Well, that's horrible.
Oh, yeah, though.
I don't have that much nose hair.
魏无羡好歹也是世家公子，排名第4，人称风神俊朗，远近闻名。
There's no
But I am
question.
self-centered enough to buy at least one copy.
哎呦！
敢在我面前提魏无羡这3个字，我不杀他，他就该跪下谢恩。居然还敢当街鬼吼鬼叫，找死！
金陵，
死疯子，还不逃？
伊利亚，
很好。
干嘛？想抓我回去向你舅舅邀功啊？别忘了上次是谁被压在地上爬不起来的。
Yeah, we got interrupted by his giant arm. That won't happen again.
Oh, doggo. There's a husky too.
Yeah, I would say that doesn't seem appropriate for this region.
来人救我！
Unless there's Chinese huskies I don't know about. Could be a Malamute.
仙子，我们走。
Oh, that's
Oh.
fairy.
See, I was thinking that just meant like fairy. Like, it's like that seems weird for this, but okay.
Okay.
那个韩国军，
What'd you call me?
打听到什么异象啊？
附近有一行鹿岭，岭中走失，昨夜突然暴动，伤了不少山民。
哦，那得赶紧去看看。
哎，二位公子啊，我劝你们可不要去啊！这个行鹿岭啊，又唤作吃人岭。哎，据说那里呀、
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, but she left.
里面住
Don't have to worry about her
着
anymore.
怪物，凡是误闯者，都会被啃得连骨头渣子都不
Are
剩。
those like giant burial mounds?
哎
Yeah.
好多年了。
那清河聂氏都不管吗？
清河聂氏，若是当年的清河聂氏，当然不会坐视不理。可如今这聂家宗主啊，不知道的不会说。
I told
知
you,
道又
the
不
best friend idiot character took over one of the clans.
全靠兰陵金氏和姑苏兰氏才坐稳宗主的位子。
Which is weird because you know
行鹿岭异动，该如何处理？
the Jin clan guy was appointed too. It apparently wasn't because the clan wanted him there.
我不知道，我不知道，我真的不知道。
So is that the voice of one of the dead people?
臭仙子，
No, that was his own
有没有对
voice.
绕？你跑那
The
么快
bird
干
learned.
嘛
He keeps saying, "I don't know, I
I
don't
thought
know."
he
and
was
the bird
keeping the
learns.
bird because he had gotten the bird from one of his old friends' voices, not his own voice. Like I thought, oh, this bird's important to me because it's something I can't get back anymore. Which, you know, is something that feels like could be done in the story. That he's messed up because of the loss of his friends.
Go.
Is he afraid of dogs? Why is he afraid of dogs?
小时候有阴影。
Lessons. I think he probably had a nasty experience with a dog. Well, you're saying what he said right after I was like, do this, the other thing. If I had to guess, it probably happened during winter.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to say 3 dogs? Maybe more. I'm going to guess this is when Fang Ming finds him. Or Bo Shan. Could be one of the two.
These are German shepherds, apparently.
Rin Tin Tin, no! Ah, that's Feng Ming. Feng Miang. I'd recognize that silhouette of a hairstyle anywhere.
Yeah.
乖，不要怕。
Don't talk to me like I'm one of those dogs. It also occurred to me after guessing Boshan. Boshan wouldn't have found him. Boshan would have abandoned him.
Mhm.
Didn't take much. See, him, the scene of him coming back from remembering is more touching than I think the actual memory was. Because, well, we know what happened to Feng Yang. Well, it's not the other guy. We know the other guy's at his palace. Oh, see, that was it. That was White.
Yeah.
The very first scene of the ending credits is the thing.
Now I don't want to go back.
Of course you don't. Right now, we're in the box with the cat. If you go back, you're going to find out if the cat dies or the cat's alive.
No, there it is. It's dark.
That's the underside. That's a shadow. The top of it
No,
is
that's
light
it.
because it's light. We literally saw the top of it in the first second of the ending credits. All right, well, let's keep an eye out. He might show up with it again. But we also have to keep talking. So the oddity here of
True.
for
Yeah.
watching the ending credits.
So he gets. Yeah.
Of course, that might have actually been the only time because now we're showing everybody else with their weapons, and we got like a minute of this.
hmm
It's not like the opening, which can sometimes be 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know. Yeah. Well, it's Eimer both times, so good on them.
Yeah.
They never
Both
did a
colored.
bad song, or never did a song I didn't like.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, see, I think we're just going to see everybody else now. That was our one chance. Except for, again, the opening scene, which is it laying across a table. Which, again, I will remind, was a top-down angle.
Yeah. Yeah, those are pretty big lamps.
No, I think it's just we're closer to the lamps. Perspective.
Yes.
All right, well.
No, we don't get any after credit stuff, so yeah.
That never is lessons. I say it every episode. Usually it's because you pause. This time you interjected to say that there wasn't. So, usually I interject to say, you don't have to pause lessons. We're not waiting for anything.
So yeah, so the mystery's afoot, or that's
Actually,
the
it's an
game's
arm.
afoot, but here, I guess eventually they
some
will.
jokes apparently I'm only good with the physical jokes this time around. In that, the heart doesn't usually show up in pictures, only in the autopsy. I'm only good with jokes that apparently relate to body parts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and they're following it, but we have another clan who's interested in this. But the thing is, okay, we might not be the bad guys, but they're willing to kill themselves not to be captured and find out who they are.
Might not have killed themselves. That might have been the same guy. It seemed like all we saw was that guy touched himself with like energy, and then his clothes fell to the ground.
Yeah.
Could have been whatever the equivalent here is of smoke bomb.
Yeah.
It seemed like the guy who was talking to Frostmourne, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, I don't have it down yet, was the same guy. In which case, they're not so dedicated to the cause. They're not willing to kill themselves.
Yeah. But what is their cause exactly? Why they're following all this? Are they the people behind all this, or people who don't trust the other clans, and so they're doing their own independent investigation?
I don't know. Apparently, they existed in the past, and we didn't know them.
And the Wanderer was mentioned, so that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's less of a mystery than I was thinking it was, because now we're introducing characters we could never have known, which is not what I like to happen in a mystery. In a mystery, I like to have, here's everything you could have a guess about, and nothing new is going to be introduced, or the only new things are going to be changes in the relationships between characters. The fact that you know the characters and you know enough about them to know how they'll react to stuff should be enough to then let you be able to guess the relationships that may change between them.
It feels
wholesale
like cheating, right?
Introducing new characters. The only element of that I enjoyed was the evidence of the sword attack on one of the bodies, which is enough to place them here 11 years ago. Unfortunately, they immediately ruined that. This is a 1,000-year-old trap or something. So any guess I might have of, he set this up, he has something to do with this. No, he was just fucking here. This isn't evil. Again, unless the trick is going to be, we cannot trust Wei Ying. If he turns out to be an unreliable narrator, because again, there's things that he doesn't seem to remember and things that he does seem to remember, and the indication is that the worldview is, of course, that he's evil, but also we're accusing him of very specific events that he doesn't immediately try to defend himself from, because he can't, on one hand, but also the element that even internally, we don't get anything about that. It's not building up to play itself off as a good mystery. It's building itself to continue to play off as a drama. I have no problem about the drama thing. It's just the element that I get more interactive in a mystery than I do a drama.
It also feels like cheating. Like, I thought I had all the pieces. Like, aha, but you didn't have this one. It's like, of course not. You just introduced it. Like,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. That's what I'm not trying to imply. In that, if it's only a drama, it's not cheating.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not cheating to do to subvert the mystery, because it's not trying to be a mystery. And I guess maybe it's my fault for trying to make it a mystery 2 episodes into season 2.
I mean, but literally the title of the episode is Mystery.
Is it? Or is it mistranslated? Is it maybe Misery? And they just mixed up the middle of it.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. Like I said, if it's not actually a mystery, I don't know. But hey, kudos on me for spotting the upcoming ice cream advertisement.
Yeah.
Something about those stalls in the background was just like, this seems weirdly out of place. This would be the perfect time to do another ad, though.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's because it's so fucking hot for me. Because again, this room maintains heat, so it's getting like in the 80s, and it's always like 10 degrees hotter in here. So
yeah.
And I turn off all the fans and everything to make sure there's no sound in the background when I record. Might have been why the headset fell apart quicker. I'm sweating into it.
And the heat also warps the plastic.
But yeah, that's less of a concern right now. Eventually going to come to one of these things, I'm just going to have a silver headset. I'm like, oh, new headset? No.
But yeah. A lot of stuff happening in this episode again, which means you have to take careful notes of it again, because it's what we do. Again.
It's more about the board, I think.
Yeah.
Keeping track of
also relationship, who's who,
yeah,
and
the fact that we have a whole past present thing. Like one of my first notes was, I don't know how to take care of this Jin Jiswan thing because it happens after the past that we know, but many years before the present. So I guess many years before the present still means the past. It'll be more confusing if we actually go further into the future. Like, we get a 10 years from now moment, and it's like, oh, now we're equally distant between the start of the past and the beginning of the present. Which I guess I'll need a middle area.
I mean, in essence, you might need that middle area to separate the 13 years, which was the end of the Sun Coast campaign, and the 11th year, which is when wuxian died. There's a lot of things that happened between those, and on top of that, things that happened after. So, yeah.
Let's see here. The 22nd year of the reign of Zhuangzang is where we left off the last time, which was the attempted conquest of Nevernight. The 25th year is where he dies, Wei Wuxian. And then we come back in the 38th year. And the 37th year, 27th year is obviously when all the people go missing in that one village.
Yep.
Yeah, so 13 years ago. Well, sorry. 16 years ago is where we left off. So if something starts happening, well, I was about to say if something starts happening 8 years ago, but if memory serves, didn't we just get a couple of 5 years ago flashbacks?
Yeah, I think so.
Or am I remembering Zam Lost Memories? Ironic.
Yeah, I think it's more for Sam.
Is that what happened in the... Sorry, I'm already forgetting shit that's happened.
Yeah. I think that was 5 years ago, and here's 13 and 11 seem to be the two main.
All right. Well, I mean, we saw back before the past that we'd seen before, which is to say, Feng Miang meeting a child Wei Ying. Again, I appreciate that I could spot that dude's silhouette in the shadow immediately. It's like, even if we didn't have anything to say who this child was and anything else, that's fucking Feng Miang's shadow. I know that. Nobody looks like that dude.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe that's why they made the change for Jin Jiswan, because the closeness of association, that if he was the tall, skinny, handsome dude that he was supposed to be, we might think that he was Feng Miang from the shadow.
There you have it. Anything else?
No, I guess that is it. For now, anyway. So, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?